Really the story of how to get through these times, you know, like teaming up with people that are like-minded, really talented and creative is the way. And just live pretty simply, but have dope shit. Have a dope life. Living minimalistically doesn't really mean that you don't have shit. That's not really what it is. It's just that you don't waste anything. So that if you don't waste anything, you don't really need as much extra crap. I'll pay for something that's going to add value to my life, but definitely not going to get once-overed on some people not really helping you and guide you. They're like, just pay me, motherfucker. I went to school for a little while and I got kicked out. Doug Eubanks, thank you, Doug. I want to have a statement in the world and all this sort of shit. He's like, man, you can just put like dicks in the background of billboards and no one would even know. And I was like, fuck yes! I can do the highest level of secret graffiti in commercial applications. Like driving down the highway, be like, see that billboard? My man's like, yeah, look in the corner. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Is that a set of balls? I'm like, hell yeah, it is. And they start laughing and shit. You know, I didn't do that for everyone all the time, but like if I had customers that were real assholes, they'd get dicks in the backgrounds, hella. I made a logo for a bar and it definitely had a bear that was like fucking the bar, but you couldn't really tell, and there was hidden dicks in the negative space because this is for a town I lived in that really abused me. So I was like, watch this, motherfucker. It's gonna be dicks all over your whole town. The client was like, man, I don't know what it is, but there's something really like sexual about this logo. I was like, it's a bear at a bar ordering a drink. Maybe you're projecting. What are you talking about? She's like, I don't know what it is, but every time I see it, you know, kind of get like horny or something. I don't know what's going on. There was a dick in the background with a nice shaped penis head and balls. It was a whole dick, man. And once I showed my friends, they were like, I can't unsee that. So I was hoping and praying. I was like trying to convince.
So you just tell everyone besides the people you did it
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
So everyone's just laughing.
Well, just the homies. I was like, you want to see some ill shit? Man, fuck that town. And so they didn't go for it. I couldn't talk her into it because she couldn't get over the fact that she was thinking about sex. She's like, I don't know what it is. It might be my fault. I don't know. And I was like, no, it's my fault. Like, oh, like, I never told her shit. That's all I needed from college. I was just like, get that little chunk that fucking kicked out. So I have to buy the alfalfa because they don't grow alfalfa on the property here. I would be able to just get it for nothing. But I can feed these rabbits for like 3 weeks. Turns into meat, pelts, and rabbit bone broth. And then I get all this mulch for the garden as well. So putting in the 20 bucks, I don't have to buy any nutrients or anything for any of this stuff at all. Sometimes I'll buy some special shit because I just feel like it. I'll be like, oh, what's a liquid bone meal or something, you know, pop these peppers a little bit. But I don't have to. Everything's in here and then the soil biology will release it as needed. Stuff's really packed down because they always run it all in here. So there's a lot of it. $0 farming, basically. If I had to, I could like trade rabbits for alfalfa bales. They're so tame, they go right up to the pitchfork. They have a good life. That little condo back there and shit. They can book it all around here, go in there in Richmond area. So here, this is all myceliated. You can see how white that is right there compared to the other side. So watch this. Usually you can get to sporulate. This is so dry, that's why it went to spore. It doesn't look like mycelium anymore. Those spores are shooting out, trying to find moisture, trying to find a better place to live. And we're about to give them a good place to live. You don't have to buy mycelium inoculants or any type of crap like that. It's so expensive. It just comes naturally from your own ecosystem. And then it's going to be a strain that's local to your area that'll handle the temperature up and down. And you buy mycelial spores from like India or something, you know, who knows if they can handle it in this area? How long do they really last? Indigenous microorganisms are always the way. You want about 4 inches of this stuff. Look where we are and then think about how this is beneficial bacteria around here. That's clean. But when you're living in a land of mycotoxins and toxic molds and everything, there's nothing beneficial around to take it out. It can't live there. You know, beneficial bacteria can't live on a city street, but MRSA can. Why do we even have those things then? Because something's got to colonize some shit. Say a volcano erupts and melts the whole town to pieces. Everything's sterilized. The first things that are going to show up are typically pathogens, molds, and like weird shit to like mitigate the area. And then when those things die, the beneficial bacteria come in and eat them and start the whole process all over again. All the answers are already out here. We just have to look into the soil, the animals, and the ecosystems. But that doesn't leave any room for your ego. I call it ego science. So people are like, you know, follow nature's systems and figure out how the redwoods got so big without fertilizer. Or I can invent a fertilizer that I can patent, put redwoods on the package. And it's ego science. People want their name on this shit. And there's no name on this, it's nature's. They're like, this isn't for me because I can't say, it's just mine. And that's fucking gross. And that's where all these problems come from. is ego. They don't need money. They need print money. So that's just an excuse. A lot of people get off on, oh, it was the money. It's not the money. Fucking straight evil, and it's done on purpose. And so once you know that, it resonates in your heart. Then doing all this just becomes so amazing. I know I'm not smarter than the fucking Nazi scientists. I'm just not an evil piece of shit. I mean, my goal for all this is to prove that it can be done and it's fun as shit. Starting to do weird shit like this. Flowers can pop out of there. I'll rush pollen on both across them, but they self-pollinate too. The Purple Leak breeding project is underway. Nice ones too. You know they're done when, see how there's like tiny little flowers in there? Once they get bigger, they'll fill this head in, and it's still so dense, it can still grow. I harvested all the ones that were finishing off, but then you leave these little branches on, and they'll make more broccoli. Like this little broccoli with a little water droplet on it. That's fucking psychedelic as fuck. Make Asian beef and broccoli, and there's some snap peas in there. And I've been watering the shit out of them because I want those heads to get big, so I don't want water to be the limiting factor. And it's working, I've noticed it. I gave a bunch of nitrogen to and potassium. Keep building that structure of the plant and the head of the broccoli, but not trigger it to flower with a bunch of phosphorus. I'm not trying to grow flowers, I'm trying to grow these florets. It's gonna be delicious. Not the biggest head because it was in the shade, but perfect density. If I have enough of this greenhouse building material, that stuff's great. It's so strong, it lasts forever, and I have it already, it's free. It's easy to hoop it because I have the clips for it.
Talking about this steel stuff?
Yeah, I have a whole pile of these. I'm gonna be able to build something like in about 3 drags of tobacco and 2 sips of moonshine. It's the timeline. This part, oh, this is gonna be the challenge. Okay.
You just need more right there, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
There you go. Boom.
So, yeah, I'll just go like this. Probably
There it goes.
exactly what I need.
And it was.
I'll just hit it with a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of
I don't even have to cut anything, dude.
Perfect. Literally so
Literally
perfect.
perfect.
What, son? Oh, let me look at my plans. Yeah, no, I didn't write anything down. I haven't touched the measuring tape in a half hour.
I did see you measure one thing.
One thing, that was it.
Home Depot the other day on some major trap shit. It turned into like the trapathon. I'm like, dude, we were just going to like do one thing, and that shit was the most ridiculous little journey ever. We ended up here, there. There's like bootlegging, weed trapping, gun accumulation, like all of it in the same trip, non-stop. And then we're all just laughing, and random people are crossing our paths. I'm like, we just went to fucking Lowe's, dude.
That's all we did.
We went to Lowe's, and what I said was like, if Egan was in the van with us, this is an entire episode.
Yeah, totally.
It was so rich. So, like, if you would have chopped up just that 2 hours, and people would be like, what the fuck are these guys doing, dude? What the fuck am I doing with my life? These guys are just fucking doing whatever all the time. When you're really on that frequency, shit just, like, happens around things. Like, we were in the Lowe's parking lot, and this dude just pulls up hella slow, and I'm like, I have my Legion on me. I'm like, what's this guy doing? He's being kind of creepy. But then he pulls up, and he's like, is this your Winnebago? We start talking, and he hits it off with him instantly. Then he's like, starts trying to sell him other various fun things. And he's like, oh, and he parks and he's like, oh, what you got then? And then like people get out of the Winnebago park next to us, and they start talking to us about the camper.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's like a meeting. There's like 5 people sitting in a parking lot talking about how cool these old Toyotas are. And we're like, how the fuck did we get here? We don't even know these people. We pulled into this back end of the parking lot to hide from people, and now we're having a meeting with strangers, and it just kept going from there too, dude.
Sounds like a vibe.
Not even designed to be this.
Literally slammed it together too. JB has farmer mode, and he just forces things to completion very rapidly.
This is my project. I'm running this shit, and it's gonna come out the way I want it to. And as it's battling me, I'm like, didn't we already agree that this is my project and it's gonna come out the way I want? And the parts are like, my bad.
You did this in like 15 minutes, too.
He did the same thing in the refrigerator. We didn't have a rail to hold it. And he's like, oh, I'll figure something out. He comes in like 5 seconds later with like a rope or something. Gotta make it work. And I just heard this boom. Like he just like fucking punched it with his hand open. And the whole house shook. And that shit has not fallen off since. Like he just forced something somewhere. And
Totally. Yeah, I warned
2
it.
months ago, still works.
Go drop this bitch on here.
Here we are, guys, on our way to go watch our buddy be recognized by Jackson County for donating funds to the victims to the Alameda fire.
Once again, this event is brought to you by Rockefeller Express and Jack's Boardhouse. I want to thank everybody who came, supported. Thank you for being here for Rockefeller. Thank you for supporting youth music.